I went to HGA, Hybrid Grading Approach, to see if they would grade some of my Pokemon cards for me. I took my 3 Charizard cards that I pulled from my Charizard UPC. I went and knocked on the CEO's door to see if he could do a rush order for me or if he would kick me out. Luckily, he said yes and gave me a tour of the facility while we waited for them to get graded. Of course, I can't record everything in their facilities, but I did get a chance to ask Jordan, the CEO, some questions about HGA, which is definitely going to be interesting for all of you who want to get your cards graded. And honestly, I had a lot of questions to ask because I want to make sure you guys are as well informed as I am when it comes to grading. So let's get into my questions. Can you tell me a little bit about HGA?
Yeah, so HGA started 2 years ago. In the 2 years, we've graded just under 500,000 cards, and we are actually the 5th largest grading company in the world. About 7 months after HGA was started, that's actually whenever we got into the Pokemon space and started doing Pokemon, Magic, essentially anything and everything TCG.
One of the unique aspects of HGA is your labels. Can you talk a little bit about that?
We offer custom labels. We offer standard labels. What you see behind me, would be considered a custom label. So a customer goes and they submit that card, and if they want a custom label, the customer has input on what that label looks like. So if they wanted something that's just absolutely out of the world, crazy, they have the ability to do that. What most people do, and this is generally what I find really works the best, is whenever they give that permission to our graphic designers then will go and come up with a label that matches it and kind of follows the lead of what that customer wants, if you will. But on top of that, we also have neutral that's similar to this right here. And we also have a splash option as well.
Why are you guys called Hybrid Grading Approach?
We are a hybrid grading approach. The hybrid, essentially that means that we utilize AI. It's a tool that our graders use to be able to grade cards that have scientific meaning and basis behind them. Also, it always brings our graders back to baseline. We're the only people in the industry that offer it and do this. There's other companies that just use AI, and there's other companies that just use humans. What's to say that, if Johnny's having a bad day and he comes in, that he's not going to just put a grade on whatever card. With hybrid grading approach and the way that we grade, it takes that unbiasedness out of it. So we don't have to worry about you getting a grade that's just absolutely crazy. We have the best grades in the industry by far.
Can you tell us about your turnaround time and a little bit about your pricing?
So we offer many different turnover times. We offer a 2, 10, 30, and a 60-day. Right now, on our 60-day, our turnaround time is 2 to 3 weeks, so that's what the majority of our people are doing. But what kind of happens on our higher value stuff that people don't want out of their possession for a while, they'll put it on a 2-day. 2 days, we are turning that same day. So if you have something that is a 2-day and you want it back very, very quickly, that's the best route to go. Our pricing, it goes all the way we do have a membership program, all the way from 18, all the way up to, I believe it's 85 for a 2-day.
What's the coolest Pokemon card that you've gotten to grade so far?
So for me, I'm a big Blastoise fan. So, we have had some first edition base set Blastoids come through. And I think it was just the other day we had a first edition Lugia and a first edition base set Charizard that came in that were in beat up, rough condition. And the guy didn't even want them graded. He just wanted them put into our slab because our slabs are fantastic. They're very UV light resistance. So he just wanted those protected, but they were really, really cool because you could tell as a kid he ran around with them in his pocket. And to me, that's just like the cool part about grading cards and grading stuff or collecting stuff just from whenever you were a kid. It's that nostalgia thing.
Is there anything that you won't grade for Pokemon or other TCGs?
Literally for TCG, we will grade. I think don't think of anything that there is that we do not grade. I know there's a lot of people that will send their stuff to HGA that before in the past they've tried to grade with some of these other grading companies and they just wouldn't. There's nothing that comes to my mind that we cannot grade. It does have to be a standard size, so it can't, like anything that's a jumbo or a mini, we won't grade those. But like a standard card size, whether that's a sports or a TCG, we will grade any and all those.
Could you tell us a little bit about your subgrading?
So one thing that we do as well is whenever we grade is we grade with subgrades. So we have surface, corners, edges, and centering. The reason we do this is we want to be transparent with that customer. That way, whenever they receive that card back, they know exactly why they got the grade that they did. If we're like some of these companies and we just put one grade on it, then there's no rhyme or reason or you telling why it graded what it did. But if I received a bad grade back and I'm like, oh, I got hammered on my corners, then you look and be like, yeah, I've got whitening on my corners and so on and so forth, then you know kind of what that is. What that also does too is it teaches and informs the customer. That way on their next submission, they can choose the correct cards to be graded.
What if I'm not sure if I should send my card in for grading?
We even have customers that will send us pictures and be like, hey, is this something I should grade or shouldn't grade? I'm new to grading. We'll absolutely answer those. Any questions you have, just email us at help@hybridgrading.com, and our group of customer service representatives will take care of you absolutely.
What's the best way for us to send our cards to you for grading?
Yeah, so as far as sending your cards in, there's multiple different ways. One, please do not send your cards in without protection of a sleeve and a card saver or a top loader. It's whichever one that you prefer or that you have on hand. People send us those both ways. Make sure that whenever you are packaging those, that they are secure. That way, whenever they do go through the mail, and the mailman throws the package or whatever, that it's not going to damage these cards. We want to receive these cards like the way that whenever you ship them. So as long as you package them properly, they're going to get to us damage free. That way they can get the grade that they deserve.
Do you guys at HGA authenticate autographs?
Yes, so at HGA we do authenticate autographs. So if you do have an autograph, then it will come in and it is authenticated. If we do not deem the autograph authenticated, then we will not grade the card. And then on our autograph grade, it is on the back of our card. So if you have an autograph and you flip it over to the back, you will get an auto grade as well.
Thank you so much, Jordan, for taking the time to answer my questions. Now, to show all of you what my cards look like after we got them graded. I hope you enjoy. And with that, I got my 3 Charizards graded, as well as put in these beautiful HGA sleeves, which they will be using very soon in their new graded cards. But with that, I felt like I need to get a few more cards graded, so I decided to give them all of these older cards that aren't in as good condition and see what they come out as, because I personally really love the custom labels, I love the whole grading process, and I really appreciated their time. So once again, I needed to send some more cards in. So I left all of these, and we will do a grade reveal coming up very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that video so we could see how harsh is the grading on these cards. I'm not expecting very high grades for really any of these cards, but this should give us a good idea of what it looks like for HGA to grade different variety of cards. Once again, thank you HGA for letting me take a look at your factory and grading my cards.